We will continue to build out our plan to sustainably secure Jamaica.
And not only that, but also to continue the path of growth and development in other areas. Prime Minister Andrew Holness laid the foundation in his New Year's Day message to the nation. It was a lot, but just in case you missed it, we put key points together for you. So stay with us for the details. Thanks for making it Jamaica Magazine. I am your host, Lisa Rowe. Also on the show today, we share tips to manage your finances and give you some positive affirmation to kickstart your year. Welcome.
Once upon a time in a Caribbean island known for its rich culture and natural beauty, lived a group of people who were buried in piles and piles and more piles of paper. Papers spanning back to the start of time. Then came a bright idea, harnessing technology to work smarter and not harder. The government of Jamaica is improving its operations to serve citizens better. Many services are now available online, and there's more to come. The government of Jamaica, building a better public sector for all.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JS News for Thursday, January 4, 2024. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he has received a preliminary report from the National Violence Prevention Commission and will begin assessment to determine strategies for implementation. He asserts that the work towards restoring a sense of peace in the society will take on a joined-up, non-partisan and non-political approach.
We're going to start working on those to see how we can incorporate, not to the exclusion of anybody, everybody will be involved.
The Prime Minister was speaking at the National Day of Prayer, Heal the Family, Heal the Nation service on Wednesday. The fourth staging of the annual event was put on by the Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches and Power Faith Ministries International. Mr. Holness says even though major crimes were reduced in 2023, the figure is still too high. He laments that the state of crime and violence is taking a toll on the mental health of citizens.
Though our economy is doing well, though we are building the infrastructure, though the statistic murders are going down, violent crimes, serious crimes are going down, how people feel, what they are being exposed to, what comes across on their social media, it is having an impact on our mental health. It is having an impact on how we perceive our well-being. And that is dangerous.
Meanwhile, members of the clergy and leader of the opposition joined in agreement to work together.
This is what the people of Jamaica want to see. They want to see us coming together in unity. So that we can collectively face all the challenges of the nation and overcome them for the benefit of this generation and generations to come.
As a church, we've got work to do. And we must continue, not just to pray, but to stand up in our communities, to unite with each other, with our government and the security forces, to ensure that reduction in crime continues.
The Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, is officially reporting that the economy grew by an estimated 2.1% for the July to September quarter of 2023 when compared to the same period in 2022. This reflected growth in both the services and goods producing industries of 2.1%. The record shows improved performances for all subsectors in the service industries, with the exception of producers of government services, which declined by 0.9%. Growth in the goods producing industries was largely influenced by higher output levels in mining and quarrying of 103.1%. Manufacturing and construction also performed well, but the agriculture, forestry and fishing industry continued to be impacted by dry conditions, resulting in a 9.3% decline in its value-added output. Meanwhile, prospects for the last quarter of 2023, October to December, remain positive, according to the Planning Institute of Jamaica. The PIOJ is projecting growth within the range of 1 to 2%. This is based on higher employment levels, which continues to strengthen domestic demand and continued recovery in trading. There is also anticipated increase in the use of alumina, along with growth momentum in the hotels and restaurants, transport and storage, and other services industries. The government is working with its counterpart in Canada to improve the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program. Almost 10,000 Jamaicans benefited from the program in Canada last year. Minister of Labour and Social Security Pernell Charles Jr. says improvements will be made in processes such as selection, orientation and management.
We are looking on the laws and the regulations. We are reaching out to all stakeholders that are relevant and connected to your journey, and we are strengthening the liaison services for you.
The minister was speaking at a send-off ceremony for 111 workers on Wednesday. They will be taking up employment opportunities on various farms across Canada for several months. Minister Charles Jr. says the ministry has spoken to and met with several stakeholders to ensure their best interests, including senators, ministers, the farmers themselves, and other partners.
And we'll continue that dialogue to make sure that as best as possible, we are creating an environment where you are safe, where you can excel, where you can contribute, you can come back home, and you can see where the hard-earned funds can be invested into your children, into your community, into your life.
Meanwhile, farm workers on the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program are being encouraged to know their rights and responsibilities. During Wednesday's send-off ceremony for the batch of 111 workers heading to Canada, the Canadian High Commissioner Emina Tudakovic reminded the workers that their rights were important and that they were protected. She acknowledged that while most workers in Canada have a positive experience, some do face abuses and substandard working conditions.
Canada is committed, and in conversations with your minister, I know that Jamaica is also committed to ensuring that your rights and dignity of all foreign workers are protected. So we've enhanced our regulations, we've enhanced abuse reporting channels, and our supports, and I encourage you to raise any concerns.
Minister Charles Jr. echoed the point and encouraged the workers to speak up if they have any issues.
And I'm very happy that our High Commissioner commended to you to speak up and to speak boldly, and to appreciate that your government is working together with our partners to make sure that the environment in which you work, your living and your working conditions are suitable, and that it represents the value we place on you.
And finally, legal aid lawyers are to begin receiving sign language training this year to assist with the Legal Aid Council's efficiency in providing advice to members of the deaf community. Executive Director of the Council, Diane Watson, says the LAC has always provided legal services to the most vulnerable in society, and this is an attempt to extend its reach. She adds that to assist with the challenges experienced in providing justice services to the disabled community, the LAC has partnered with interpreters and other stakeholders within that community. A press statement from the Legal Aid Council adds that it has been building its internal capacity with training on intellectual disabilities and developing media resources to include Braille to reach the visually impaired. Stakeholder discussions have also been assisting in identifying the gaps. The Disabilities Act, which came into effect on February 14, 2022, outlines the right to access for persons with disabilities, which includes free movement, use of benefits, and the ability to receive and understand information. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
"2023 was a banner year for the government and people of Jamaica. We saw record unemployment, earned over $4 billion from tourism, experienced 10 consecutive quarters of economic growth, secured historic credit ratings, improved our infrastructure, and more Jamaicans became home and landowners in the year. These and so much more happened in 2023. Catch the highlights in Jamaica Magazine, aired on this station and on social media.
Out of many, let us all unite. We are one people that will win this fight. Strong against corruption, yeah, this is right. So we should all unite and commit to the fight against corruption, that's the mission. Out of many, one people, there is no division. Seen it clearly, integrity is the vision. Only good can come from a nation that's filled with ambition. It's a must we facilitate growth, cause we want our children's future to be filled with hope. Out of many, let's all unite.
A message from the Integrity Commission.
The path to growth continues with several investments in health, roadwork and social development, among others. We recap these as indicated by Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
In 2024, your government will begin the build-out of a comprehensive social services response to violence, which will include education and youth services, faith-based and NGO social partnership initiatives to promote restorative justice and peace building in communities, social safety net support targeted at those most at risk and vulnerable to violence, public health intervention and services, and targeted public education, among other initiatives. Therefore, in 2024, my administration will focus on reducing violence, building our social and emotional intelligence and human capital, strengthening our families, and promoting peace in our land. Early this year, we will open the dualized highway from Harborview heading to Yallas, along with several segments heading to Port Antonio. We will begin work on Grange Lane in Portmore, along with a new entrance to Portmore, which will ease traffic conditions on the Mandela Highway. We will begin work to widen the bridge on Washington Boulevard, and plans are far advanced for procurement of works to improve Tom Redcombe Drive and Lady Musgrave Road in Kingston. Now, you may have noticed that we are laying conduits and fiber optic cables to create a high-speed network, GovNet, which is the backbone on which smart technology can be deployed. As a result, you will begin to see more cameras, both for law enforcement on the Jamaica High and for traffic management. The new Road Traffic Act and the electronic ticketing system will begin to have a significant impact on improving behavior on our roads. In 2024, we will launch a national policy to build homes for tourism workers in partnership with the hotels. The Ministry of Tourism has already entered into partnership with the Housing Agency of Jamaica, the National Housing Trust, and private housing developers for units in Ryan Park Estate and Grangepen St. James to be reserved for our hard-working tourism workers. We also welcome the pledge by 4 major international hotel investor groups, including RCD Hotels, Bahia Principe, and Princess Resorts, who combined have committed to constructing over 2,000 residential units for industry employees. As our tourism industry expands, we must ensure that the people get more of the benefits and that we take a longer and more sustainable view of the tourism product. We will not only build hotels, but we will build the community around them. This year, we will break ground for the major expansion and refurbishing of the Spanish Town Hospital, where I was born. We will also go to procurement to build the most advanced primary care clinics in Portmore and Old Harbour. We have started the digitization of health information systems, and the Maypen Hospital will be the first facility to go live on this digital health information platform. This year, the focus will be on increasing productivity. All Jamaicans must produce more in 2024. We will seek to gain greater efficiencies in service delivery and output through greater integration of technology and business process engineering in the public service. Performance management must become the mantra of all Jamaica, as this is how we will sustain our economic growth. I urge Jamaicans not to undervalue the importance of a strongly performing economy. So in 2024, we will further expand economic activity and make the necessary investments in human capital and security to support economic expansion. This will give us the ability to do more for you in 2024.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Money and wealth management is a year-round conversation, but it takes on a more practical reality at the start of the year. That's why we've put this together to give you some pointers.
My presentation today is on getting the best bang for your budget. Budgeting, simply defined, is creating a plan to spend your money. Good budgeting, however, is ensuring that you're spending less than you earn. I know budgeting can be hard. You make a budget and you find it difficult to stick to it, but it's one of the best ways to keep track of where your money is going every month, and then you can identify what changes you need to make in order to reach your financial goals. When making your budget should include things like your needs, your wants, your savings, your investments, and your emergency fund. So typically what we're saying is that your money monthly should be going towards savings, your bills and utilities, your insurance, and your emergency fund. You also would want to ensure that when you're making your budget, you give every dollar a job and keep track of your spending. Keep a financial journal if necessary. This will help to keep you on track, and you can record and identify the things that you're actually spending your money on. So, one of the first things you'd want to do when you're creating your budget is create a financial plan, and it will help you to map out the actions that you need to take towards achieving these goals. And please ensure that you put your short-term as well as your long-term goals in your financial plan. After you've created your financial plan, then you'd want to identify all your streams of income. Your streams of income is not only your 9 to 5, and that's a mistake that a lot of us make. What about your other passive incomes? What about the earnings you make from your skills? You might be getting an inheritance. You might be getting an annuity. You might be the type of person to buy and sell things. You have to account for every single dollar you make. And likewise, if you're going to account for all your earnings, you'll also have to account for all your monthly expenses. And your monthly expenses is not only your utility bills. A lot of times we neglect to include the other things that we have to spend on. Sometimes the simple things like our personal care, your groceries, your hair care, your wants. Some of us have things that we have to do to maintain our mental health. Include those things in your budget. All things must be accounted for, so you identify where all your income is coming from and you identify all your expenses. So now, let's uncover some of those bad financial habits that are wrecking our financial future. And while it's easy to identify some of our big expenditures, sometimes it's uncovering some of those smaller, more sneakier daily expenses that will save you a lot of money in the long run. My first question to you is, are you paying your bills on time? Paying your bill late comes with penalty fees, and these fees add up. Implementing the right debt payoff strategy, you can pay off your debt quickly, end up saving more, and you end up having more money towards your other financial goals. Prioritize paying off your debts. Things that we tend to let slip through as well. Most banks have a charge that is associated with going to the ATM. Not to mention, if you decide that you're going to use another bank's ATM because it's more convenient, then you end up paying 2-3 times the amount. So you have to keep a close eye on your money, guys. You have to keep track of these fees. Cutting out unnecessary expenses will actually help you to save a lot of money each month. So let's quickly talk about some of the money habits that we need to develop. Pay yourself first. Take out money for your savings. Put it in an investment account if you have to. Have a separate bank account, but pay yourself first. Build up on your retirement fund. Increase your deductions. This will not only help you to put more money towards your retirement saving, but it also reduces your taxable income. And try to make it at least the amount that your employer will match. That's like getting free money. Who doesn't want free money, right? Save for the future. Saying things like YOLO or FOMO can make you feel like you need to spend all your money now. But there needs to be a balance. Enjoy your life now, but be sure that you're saving money for the future and working diligently towards your goals. Live below your means. If you're spending more than you earn, at some point, you're going to have to require credit to cover the rest. If you find yourself having to get credit to pay for basic things, then you need to revisit what you're doing. To grow your money and create real wealth, you need to start investing. Invest your money and help to build up and secure your financial future. Last but not least, invest in a critical illness plan, guys. So I'll end by saying, not budgeting your money, combined with bad financial habits, not saving, can leave you vulnerable to unexpected emergencies, living from paycheck to paycheck, not to mention not having enough money for retirement. You can achieve your financial goals. It's just a matter of prioritizing, sticking to your budget, and tracking your spending.
Finally on the show today, some positive affirmation to rev that passion inside you to go after your dreams.
Develop a sense of purpose that says you're not here by accident. You are here for greatness. You are here with destiny in mind. You're supposed to do something great, and you're on that pathway. There are persons who are in the departure lounge of life, at the end of their life, and they look back and they have regret because they never took time to uncover and develop a sense of purpose. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do before I leave this 7 billion people planet called Earth? What am I supposed to accomplish? Having a sense of greatness that's in you. You're talented, you have gifts and abilities. Some of you are good with numbers, some of you are good with words, some of you are good with both, some of you are artistic, creative, some of you are sports oriented, and there are many things. And you take time to discover what are you passionate about. What can I just do naturally? I can jump out of my sleep and do it easily. Speaking now to your talents and abilities, your giftings. All of these come into your sense of purpose. The things that you are to do in life as you are to impact people. When you dream, when you close your eyes, what do you see yourself doing? And knowing that the sky is the limit. Second thing I want to say quickly is that you must learn to persevere. I heard Marquis speak about perseverance. Everybody say perseverance. Sometimes we don't achieve much because we give up too easily. You have to learn, if you want good, your nose have to. Yes, man, you have to get your feelings hurt and still go on. When I was doing my PhD, boy, a man tell me, man, you people seem to like you. Wayne, why don't you just leave this program and go back to your country? You have a master's. The PhD is not for you. Why don't go and make money? And that was a racist comment because I was black. I was the only black person in the program. And he was saying things that hurt me, and I didn't want him to see me offended. I left his presence, went into my room, and I cried. But I decided to continue in my effort for excellence. Are you hearing me? And so perseverance means to continue a course of action in spite of difficulty, in spite of opposition. When they fight you down, when bad mind reach you, and they're fighting you down, and they say you're not the right gender, young ladies, and they say you don't deserve to be here, don't pay no attention, press on nonetheless. And it means you also have to have the right people around you. Be careful of the company you keep. As you go through life, you're going to make mistakes. As you go through life, you may fail at something. You want people around you who can encourage you to get up again.
The 50 trucks that are coming into the system by the end of the financial year will give us further room to work. But again, I'm going to say it, and if I sound like a recurring decimal, I will always be saying it. If we provide a garbage truck for every community in Jamaica, that will not change if the mindset of the people is not prepared to accept the changes that is required. We can't talk about how dirty the country is when we ourselves are contributing to that. When people continue to create mini dumps, driving in their vehicles, not just public transport, but some of the most fanciest and expensive vehicles that you see driving on the road, wind down the window, out goes the drinks bottle and the cup and the patty bag. The country needs to be more matured when it comes on to how we dispose of garbage.
2023 was a banner year for the government and people of Jamaica. We saw record unemployment, earned over $4 billion from tourism, experienced 10 consecutive quarters of economic growth, secured historic credit ratings, improved our infrastructure, and more Jamaicans became home and landowners in the year. These and so much more happened in 2023. Catch the highlights in Jamaica Magazine, aired on this station and on social media.
This is where our journey ends, but only for today. Join us again tomorrow when we bring you another informative program. In the meantime, stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you are online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via X at JIS News. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Lisa Rowe. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.